when I was a kid, there was a point where we were really poor and like we did not have very much at all. And I remember it was everything was you had to make from scratch. Like you had to pull out the flour, you had to pull out the potatoes, you had to pull out everything and like chop it up and do all that. And I was doing a lot of extracurricular activities outside of school, and I was busy at school most of the day, and then I'd come home and have to do chores and homework, and I was like, I just can't cook extra things. And so potatoes were always very, very cheap, and we always had potatoes. And most of the time we wouldn't have like when we got home from school, there was not like a meal or anything ready for us. It was like we would have dinner, and it would usually be late at night, and like usually my mom would make it, or she would put one of us kids in charge of it to make it. But I was always starving when I got home from high school. High school, they do not feed you enough. That's what my opinion was that I just did not get enough food.
Couldn't you just put some chips in your backpack and cookies and snacks? And
no, my mom was relying. She was relying on us to eat at school.
But I'm saying, could you have done that, or would you have gotten in trouble?
I probably would have gotten in trouble.
Okay.
In fact, I think I did. So I know that was something I wasn't supposed to do.
Got it. That's all I want to know.
So I never did that.
I wasn't in high school, public school, so I don't know the rules.
And if I ever did, it was something that I bought myself and I had to do. You know, like if I went to work and had earned my own money to do it. But like she was relying on that. So like if I was really super hungry when I got home from school, usually, okay, so we were told eat breakfast at school and lunch at school. Well, I never got there on time, so I almost never had the chance to eat breakfast at school. So I already missed one meal. And then lunch, I've always felt like they never gave us enough.
You wouldn't eat breakfast at home?
No.
You would go to school without having eaten any food, knowing full well that you would not be eating until lunch.
Yes.
That's on you.
Well, I also felt nauseous every morning. I don't know why.
So did I.
Good for you.
When I got up for public school and I was in 3rd and 4th grade, I would feel sick every morning. But I would force myself to eat.
Well, that's some self-control I didn't have because I was not able. I couldn't do it. Like I was so sick that it was weird. I had to like get out of the nauseous part, and then I would be like, okay, now I'm hungry. After a few hours. Yeah. And then it would be lunchtime, and I'd eat as much as I wanted or as much as I could. And usually if anybody was ever like, hey, anybody want my sandwich? I'd be like, yes, I want your sandwich. I want your extra piece of pizza. I want this. You know, like I would just, sometimes they would have extras and I would go up and get more. But anytime I got home, I was starving. The only things that I remember making consistently were baked potatoes that I would just make myself. And every time I made them really good, and everybody wanted one. And I was like, everybody was potatoes. Like, oh, you make that look so good. And I was like, well, go make one yourself. And the other thing was a bowl of mixed vegetables. My mom always had those in the freezer for my dad because he was actually malnourished as a kid and started having grand mal seizures. And so he had to if he ever starts feeling a little bit seizure-ish, then he will eat some vegetables, and it helps him to like stave off. What is it? Stave off?
Stave it off.
Yeah, stave off a seizure.